Let me give you guys my journey. I was a contractor for 10 years. Why did I become a contractor? Because my parents were contractors, right? A lot of us became who we are because our parents were that. I came from a family of 12 kids. I'm number 3. I've changed a lot of freaking diapers. I have 9 siblings underneath me, and we woke up every single morning reading the Bible at 5 a.m., going around the circle, and my parents would have us read a verse, and then we would share back and forth, what was your takeaway, what was your takeaway, what was your takeaway? And that's how I grew up. And then I got into the professional world, especially construction, and that is not how construction is. It's backstabbing, stealing from each other, contractors underbidding other contractors. Homeowners will go get 3 estimates, 2 of them from non-licensed people. You're the only licensed person. You miss out on the job because the non-licensed guy is obviously able to do the job. That's what I jumped into for 10 years. And what ended up happening to me, I got really, really lucky. I met a lady, her name is Bethany, and Bethany came to me, she was a customer of mine, she was a fix and flipper. This is 10 years ago this month, okay? I was a contractor. You guys know who Open Door, OfferPad, and Zillow are? Cool, that's who I worked for. I had a big crew of 200 guys. We would go do all their renovations. We would turn over all their houses so that they could go back and resell them. Make sense? I made a lot of money. It was great. The problem with being a contractor, anybody in here a contractor or a contractor's kid? Do you ever actually see the money? It's like it just keeps going right back into the next job, right? And that was my life for a really long time. And then Bethany came to me and she said, hey, will you flip houses for me? I said, no problem. I'd love to. So she hires me, I do a job for her. She hires me again, I do another job for her. She calls me this time on the 3rd one and she's like, I need you to get to the house a little bit earlier. And I go to the house a little bit earlier and they're 30 minutes early, and then bang, bang, bang on my truck door. She's banging on my door saying, get the hell out of your truck. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what did one of my guys do? Like, I assume one of my guys did something wrong to one of her houses. And she was mad at me because she says to me, why are you not in real estate? I'm like, I am in real estate. Look at all these houses I'm flipping for all of you guys. Would you guys argue that I'm in real estate in that situation? Kind of. You already know the answer. I'm not in real estate. I'm absolutely not in real estate. I'm a service provider to somebody who is in real estate. And she pointed that out to me. She said, you are not in real estate, you are a service provider, and you are as simple as a Google search away from being replaced. You do not own your business. I own your business. If I don't go out and buy a house, you don't have a house to flip. Who controls who? That's what she says to me. You got to start thinking about your own businesses that exact way. She says, the only person that cannot be controlled is a real estate investor. Doesn't matter. They can control their own future. They don't have to wait on any clients. They don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. They are their own client. They're buying the property for themselves. They turn around and do whatever with it, Airbnb, midterm rental, whatever it is. And everything, all of that was going over my head. All of it was going over my head. However, I'd been lying to myself. I'd been telling myself for 7 years prior to this that I was going to, really do it one day. I was really going to be in real estate. Anybody is like, I want to be in real estate? Okay. The thing that was keeping me from being successful in real estate wasn't a manual. It wasn't ChatGPT. It wasn't a YouTube video. It was another person. And so what Bethany did for me is she said, nobody's paying attention to you, but I am, and I noticed you did 2 jobs for me, both on time, both on budget. You are not a contractor. You are absolutely not a contractor. You should be in real estate. And so she made me get on the back of my truck, open the tailgate, tells me to open my phone, and she shows me how to find real estate deals. And within 2 weeks, I got my first real estate deal. Okay, I made $25,000 on the deal. It was kind of a fun thing. I just wholesaled it. So I got the house under contract and I sold the contract to somebody else. I made $25,000. And I was off to the freaking races. And in that time frame, from when that happened till today, we now have about $500 million in real estate holdings in our portfolio. I have 600 employees. None of them are in construction. I got a construction maybe a year after I met Bethany, and everything has been real estate, real estate, real estate, real estate for the longest time. Now, why would somebody in real estate know a thing or two about communities? Why would they have me speak on stage? I have a TV show on A&E about real estate. I have a YouTube channel. I'm by far the most watched YouTube channel on creative finance in real estate. Nobody even comes remotely close. Why the hell would they have me come on stage and talk about communities? I stumbled on something magnificent. Okay, so let me tell you how I got into communities. As I got momentum in real estate, I had a real estate lead come into me, maybe my 5th year in real estate. And by this time, you get stabbed in the back a lot. You'll get stabbed in the back in business a lot. Everybody in here has been screwed over by somebody, right? Taking your idea, they took an employee. Hell, I take people's employees all the time. You better watch out, I'll take some of your freaking employees. I will. It happens, okay? And you just kind of get used to it and you move on. You roll with the punches. Well, I get this real estate lead. It's a seller. He calls off one of our postcards. He lives in Colorado, but the house he's wanting to sell is in Arizona. Make sense? We strike a price over the phone. This is back in the day when I actually used to be on the phone. Now I have a team that does that. And he says, perfect, I'll see you at the house so we can sign the agreement. I'm like, no, I'll just send over a DocuSign to you. I'm not going to go meet you in person to sign the agreement. He's an old school guy. He says, hell no. I am not selling a house. I'm not doing any business with another man unless I'm eyeball to eyeball with that man. And I'm like, oh, damn. All right, well, no problem. I'll send over a mobile notary. Does everybody know what a mobile notary is? I go, I'll just send over, are you a mobile notary? Shout out, boom. Okay, so I was like, I'll just call somebody in Colorado who's a mobile notary, go meet the guy, they can walk through the contracts. I assumed he just wanted somebody to walk through the contracts with him. That is absolutely not what he wanted. He was an eyeball to eyeball person. And guess what? At the end of the day, we all are. We all are. You guys remember how crappy it was to go through COVID where we are all in digital land? We all now crave being around each other all the time. But this guy's like, nope, I'm not doing, he says, am I selling my house to the mobile notary? No. And he goes, then get your ass to my house in Colorado or else I'm not selling my house to you. If you're not here by Friday at 5 p.m., I'm going to sell my house to somebody else is what he told me. I'm like, oh, damn. Okay. I don't know anybody in Colorado. I don't know anybody up there at the time. And so this is what I did. I went to a real estate forum, okay? A real estate forum that calls themselves a real estate community. You guys are going to see people calling themselves communities all the time. It is the most overused word in communities is the word community. They'll go, oh, my YouTube community. That's not a YouTube community. That's called a YouTube audience. That is not a community. So I went on a forum. You assume people that are calling themselves a community, I could go in there and go, hey guys, I have a deal that's up in Colorado. I don't have time to travel up there. Does anybody want to joint venture on this real estate deal and go and be my temporary partner on just this one deal? And I make a post in the forum. What ends up happening is I get like 50 comments underneath. Just go to the guy, criticism. I'm like, okay, this is a community. Awesome. That feels like a community. The next day, this is now Thursday morning, I get a call from a guy named Steve. And Steve calls me up and goes, dude, I saw your post on the forum. I will be your partner for the day. I'll drive over and meet the seller. No problem. Super easy. I'm like, dope. So he drives over, meets with the seller, and I don't hear from Steve. Now Steve's ghosting me, not picking up the phone. What's going on? I get a call from the seller. Okay, the seller's name is Tim. Tim calls me about 9 o'clock Thursday night. Remember, I have till Friday at 5 p.m. I'm in Arizona. This guy wants me to meet him, not just in Denver, but like 2 hours north of Denver. Okay, so I got to fly there, get a rental car, drive my butt all the way up there. I don't have all day to freaking get to this guy's house. So Steve, this guy that I'm relying on, starts ghosting me. What do you guys think happened? The seller calls me and he says, hey, your good old buddy Steve came over to the house, had the forum post printed out when he came over to the house to show me that you tried to partner with him online. He says you were just going to wholesale the deal. You weren't going to actually buy the house, and that he said he's an actual buyer and da-da-da-da-da. I should sell to him. Guess what the guy says? First off, if the guy was a piece of crap, he wouldn't have called me. Tim called me, right? He's a handshake, eyeball to eyeball kind of guy. And so he says, I want to just let you know that Steve's not your friend. And I still intend to sell my house to you. If you can still get to my house by 5 p.m. the next day, I'm still going to sell my house to you because I made a commitment to you that you had until 5 p.m. That dude is freaking awesome. So it's like 9 o'clock at night. I'm looking for a flight. I'm looking at the thing. There's no flights available, right? This is before I knew that like private charter was a thing and whatever else. And so I'm like, I say, screw it. My wife sees how pissed off I am. It's like 11 o'clock at night. My wife is like, what happened? I tell her the story. And she says, oh, you can't get a flight? I go, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna make that much money on the deal. I'll make $17,000 on the deal. It's not gonna be that much money. I'm just gonna freaking let Steve do it. And my wife says, that's not the man I married. Oh, sometimes you just need a gangster girl, you know? So, guys, I jump in my Prius. I jump in my freaking Prius and I drive 16 hours to Tim's house. And as I left Tim's house with that contract, I was like, yo, Steve. Okay? So, sorry for the cussing. So that's how I felt. I really drove 16 hours up there. Now, not only did I get over to the house, but as I walked out of the house and Tim and I signed this contract, this truck comes down the road. I mean, this is 2 hours outside of Denver. So it's like way up in the oil fields and all that kind of stuff up in outskirts. This truck is billowing dust behind it, just coming down the dirt road super, super fast. And I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody's gonna come and kill me. It's probably Steve. Like, it's gotta be freaking Steve, you know? The guy skids in front of my little Prius and he gets out and he comes over and he puts his hand out and he says, you're Pace, right? And I go, yeah. And like, you know, when somebody puts your hand out, what do? Put it up. You put it out, right, Devin? And I'm like, my name's Pace. He goes, that's what I thought. I just wanted to shake the hand of the man that I thought wasn't gonna come up to my dad's house. When my dad told me, Steve did this thing to you, I just was like, oh, Pace ain't gonna show up. He goes, I had to drive over here because I was wrong and I wanted to look you eyeball to eyeball and let you know that I'm impressed. Shook my hand and sent me on my way. Freaking cool, right? Okay, so here's what happens. I had 16 hours to drive home. 16 hours to drive home. Now, I'm frustrated, I'm pissed off, and out of spite, out of absolute spite, I dreamt of a community. You were like, where is this going? Now I'm gonna talk about community. How about that? I dreamt of a community of people that actually help each other. A community of people that actually hang out with each other and do things physically with each other and actually help bridge the gap of their understanding. I didn't learn how to frame a freaking house by reading a book or a manual. That is not how human beings learn. Anybody in here really love sitting there and watching a video on how to get trained? Or do you want to sit next to one of your homies and they show you how to do it? You want to beat ChatGPT. You want to beat all the digital people that are like, here's my manual, here's my coaching product. All of that is going to die. Write that down. Every coaching product on the planet is going to die. Why? Because ChatGPT will always be the best coach on the planet. If you can't develop a community of people that are eyeball to eyeball, connecting with each other and truly loving on each other, you will lose. Now, here's what I did. That drive home, I said, I don't know what this looks like because there's no manual for this, and there's no coach on how to do this. So out of spite, this is what I did. I said, I'm gonna show people how easy this business is. So I got in that freaking Prius, and I started going on my Instagram stories. This is back when I had like maybe 3,000 people on Instagram. Not a lot of people. And I started telling people, I'm gonna take you on real estate appointment. By the way, I'm not a real estate agent. Please don't ever confuse me with a real estate agent. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm a real estate investor, okay? So when I say I go on appointments, I'm not going to list their house. I'm actually going to buy the house. And so what I did is I go on Instagram stories and go, anybody that wants to come hang out with me for the day, meet me at Circle K at 6 o'clock in the morning. You got a spot in my Prius. Welcome to being an actual human being. And the whole time I was like, F Steve, bro. I'm gonna show everybody. I'm gonna show everybody that. So this is what happened. How many people showed up on Saturday morning? 0 people showed up. 6 a.m., 0 people showed up. Want to know why? People didn't believe me I was being real. So this is what I did. That day, as I drove around in my Prius, I was taking selfies of myself with the car in the background, and I was like, dude, the people in this Prius are getting so much value today. And what happened is, I did it again next week. How many people showed up? 3 people showed up. 3 people showed up, which is great, because I had 3 spots in my car. But now I have real people to verify that I'm doing this with people. So I took a girl named Debbie Lou, a guy named Scott Garcia. Both of them have now retired from real estate. Amazing people. They still lend money to me on my deals. And As I tag them in my Instagram stories, my followers then DM them and go, dude, are you really like going on appointments and Pace is really showing you his projects and his private money lenders and attorney meetings and this, that, and the other? And they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, he really is. So guess what I did the following week? I showed up again, Saturday, 6 o'clock. How many people showed up? 63 people showed up. 63 people showed up. Want to know why? Because if you build it, they will come. Okay? So I showed up. It got so big and so bad that what ended up happening is Circle K was like, what the freak is going on in our parking lot at 6 o'clock in the morning? It was right here in Tempe, Arizona, right down the road. And I said, it's just a real estate meetup. And Circle K is like, bro, it's Saturday at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, get the hell out of here. So we went over to my office, and this started compounding to a pretty significant thing. And I would just whiteboard for people, and I would just show them the answer. I go, what question do you have? What problem do you have in your business? Pull out your phone. Let me just solve it right there. F a manual, F a coaching product. Let me solve it right now. Sorry, am I yelling? Good. So this is what I did. I showed up for people. I showed the F up for people. I knew it was a significant thing when somebody from Portugal was waiting in line to meet me and was like, I flew to Dallas, then I flew here to come to your meetup on Fridays. Because word spreads fast, guys. Your reputation spreads fast. You want to know how to win this game? Stop trying to go viral. Stop trying to go viral. That's not the goal. You want the right fit client all the time, and you want them to know that you actually give a crap about them. Now, anybody ever interact? Now, you've interacted with me in my community. Have you seen how I act with my community?
You're fun.
Have you ever seen anybody love? Oh, bro, what? I haven't seen you in a long time, bro. Good to see you. Holy crap. Do you remember those days?
I remember those.
He was in my office. What the freak? Guys, these guys were in my office when we were doing this. Absolute chaos. You remember? Oh my gosh. Wow, dude, that gave me chills. Guys, this compounded. It was infectious. It was so fun to be a part of this energy of all these people flying in from other cities to come hang out at our office and listen to me talk about what it was that I'm good at. Now, here's what ended up happening. This compounded into something significant. I started having people ask me to speak on stage. Last year, I spoke on 110 stages. The smallest stage I typically speak on is 5,000 people. How did that happen? I don't ask to speak. The people that I help go and tell the people that are running the event, please have Pace speak. Want to know why? Because they know I do a meetup the night I speak. So I'll speak, I'll go there that night, I'll have 300, 400, 500 people show up, and I meet with every single one of those people. I care. I show up. I get to know what their problem is. I aggregate that information. Then I go back and I work on providing solutions for those people. Now, nobody's going to tell you this stuff. They're going to tell you how to go viral. They're going to tell you how to go create a this and be efficient. The person that is struggling, that wants your help, doesn't want you to be efficient. They want you to sit next to them. They want you to look at them in the eye. They don't want the manual. They don't want the coaching thing. They don't want that. Nobody wants that. They want a human helping them. Do we agree with this? And so in the world of ChatGPT, if the thing is like, I want to be efficient, I want to have a thing that clicks to this and goes to that, and I don't have to have any involvement in the people that want my help, you will lose. ChatGPT will win. In 5 years, everybody will be getting their information from ChatGPT. How many people are using ChatGPT right now? Okay. It's scary, right? Is there any information that you can't figure out? Is there anything that you've had it do that you think in the next 2 years it won't be able to do? Or all the other subsequent AI? What ultimately will be the thing, if you really want to build a community, you have to be present and you have to be physical with your people. You have to do meetups, you have to do dinners, you have to do these things. Now for me, she said, hey, it generated $100 million in revenue. Guys, what it was is that it got to a point where in my business, my real estate business last year, I bought $160 million in real estate. Where did that real estate come from? It came from my community. If I'm really good at what I say I'm doing, then why wouldn't my people be so freaking good at it too that I end up buying real estate with them and partnering with them? Now, I don't know what that is in your industry. I don't know what that is in your world, but for me, I said if I can overwhelm my people with success, and I can be so absolutely involved in their success, there's no reason I can't buy $100 million a year in real estate with them. Now, what's happened is it's gotten big. We got a TV show out of this. I'll tell you guys how we got a TV show, and then I'll wrap it up. We do all the things that I wish somebody did for me. I wish somebody just took me to an appointment. I wish somebody just showed me how to fill out the paperwork. I wish somebody took me to the title company and didn't make me feel like this was a freaking overwhelming, daunting task the whole entire time. I wish somebody like Bethany Willis yelled at me on the back of my truck and was like, dude, you should be in real estate, and just cared about me. That lady dug her freaking hand in it was my left shoulder, her right hand. I can still feel her talons in my shoulder when she was yelling at me. And here's what was great. She says to me the whole time, you are such an asshole. Have you guys ever been called an asshole? Asshole. You have been. Okay. Oh, yeah. Then you're my kind of person. She would call me an asshole is because she would tell me to do something. She'd say, pull out your phone. And I go, oh, well, what are we doing? Oh, my gosh, pull out your freaking phone. Right? That was the whole conversation. She was like, do this, do that, do this. She made me do the thing. Instead of me being able to ask questions and sit in a class format and raise my hand and do all that stuff, she's like, no, get your freaking phone out. We're doing this business right now. And she made me successful. That's how it was. Has anybody ever framed a house? I know you've framed way more houses than me. You framed, okay. Did you learn in a book and on a video and then you went on the job site?
No.
How did you learn?
Dad told me how to do it.
Okay, but did he tell you how to do it, or did he show you how to do it?
Showed me how to do it.
Okay, welcome to the way human beings learn, guys. Do we all agree with this? We're monkey see, monkey do? Your clients are going to be the same exact way. Okay, your clients will be the exact same way, and when you are the monkey see, monkey do person saying, let me sit next to you, let me show you how this is done, guess what? People are going to go, that's not scalable.
It's because they teach each other.
Boom. Boom, boom, boom. What did you say? Say it louder.
It is because they teach each other.
There you go. So now, every single week, my community nationwide has 150 meetups every single week in all 50 states without me being there. And what are they doing? They're helping each other. They're going on appointments with each other. They're doing all of these things and helping each other. It is so magnificent. It's unbelievable. I don't want to be the man behind the green curtain. I don't want to be the most famous person in my community. I want to be the person that drives the culture, the community, and the connection. Their job is to be more popular than me. It is the craziest thing when you release that I want to be the cool guy, I want to be the person at the top of the pyramid, and I want everybody to look at me as like the exalted one, right? Like most coaches that I've ever had were. They never wanted to pass the credit to other people. It's all about them. And guess what's going to happen? The coaching space is going to change, guys. If anybody in here is a coach, if you haven't already felt it, you're going to feel it. ChatGPT is coming for your customers. An easier way to get information is already here. So if you're selling information, you will lose. You will 100% lose. You have to provide connection, culture, and community. Okay. Now, I'm a real estate person, so I apologize. This is not what I normally talk about, but hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of value. Helps you understand that the right way sometimes is the hard way. And I can tell you that in 5 years, I'll be building my community while other people are going to ask me, hey, how'd you build your coaching thing? I told somebody this morning, they go, hey, your coaching thing is crushing. I go, I'm not a coach. I'm a community builder. I'm building community. That's what I do. And if any of you guys are sitting here saying, I want to be a coach, or you are a coach, I would scratch that word out of your vocabulary. Freaking ChatGPT is a better coach than you'll ever be. Did I hurt some feelings? Scratch that word out. Say, I am a community builder. I am here to build leaders, and those leaders are meant to build the next leaders behind me inside of my community. That is what you're doing here. Thank you guys for your time.